Morning, church. How's it going? Good, good. It's been a great program this morning, eh? Awesome. Well, look, I hope to build on that. Once again, it's my privilege to be able to come and talk to you guys. Talking about our Bible superhero this morning, Noah. So, let's get started. Hopefully this thing is turned on and works. Nope. Now it does. Awesome. So Noah, 10th generation bloodline of Adam. Generations we can see up there, we've got Adam. And we've got an Adam in the house? Any cool Adams in the house? No. I know we've got a Seth. I don't know. I don't know about an Enos or a Canaan. I think this is Methuselah. Have you got that name? Way to go. We've got Enoch. He's the man. He only stayed with us for 365 years, and God called him for a bigger purpose. He's one of the generations that never experienced death. We can talk about that another time, but he's a really cool guy. We've got Jared. I know we've got Jared in the house because he was up here singing. Oh my goodness. Mahilalel, I think that's how you say it. We've got Lamech, who's Noah's dad, and then we've got Noah. Hey, when Noah was born, his dad Lamech, he said, this guy's going to bring us comfort. In Genesis 5:29 it reads, he named him Noah and said, he'll comfort us in the labour and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed. So, church family, what heroic acts do you think Noah is best known for? We've been watching this morning. What do you think he's best known for? Building the ark, right? Yep. We also know that Noah had an awesome relationship with God. You know, we know that Noah had characteristics of his great-grandfather, Enoch. You know, Enoch was a preacher too. And so was Noah. Noah preached righteousness. And we know Noah, like Enoch, found the ultimate grace in the eyes of God, which led to each of their appointments by God. But why? So let's explore that. I just want to read from Genesis. So God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all the people, for the earth is filled with violence. Because of them, I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. I guess pitch was like the waterproofing of the day, eh? This is how you're to build it. So he gets specific here. I'm thinking Noah must have been a pretty good boat builder because you just don't decide to build an ark and understand how to build an ark, right? So the ark had to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. He had to make a roof for it, and he had to leave below the roof an opening of 1 cubit high all the way round. He had to put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. So I guess, like we've talked about this morning, imagine that conversation. God comes to Noah and tells him, hey, I'm going to destroy the earth and everything in it by a great flood. He instructs Noah to build the boat, but just not any boat. It's called an ark, and he gives them specifics. Cubits, I don't know about you, but it's not something I'm familiar about, so I looked it up, and apparently in the day, a cubit was basically based on where you lived. You've got different races in that. It was the distance between here and here. And there's a lot of documented lengths of that, but for Noah's, actually, there's no cubic measurement known, so we just have to think it was about yay wide, as in the earlier piece. So God declares he will flood the earth, but he establishes a covenant with Noah. He includes his wife and 3 sons and their wives. This is where you see God extend salvation to someone's family. It's really important. He then goes on to say, I'm going to arrange for animals, male and female, the best of the best from every species to come to you. it talks about that Noah actually went out. Well, he did. He went out and kind of got them to put them in the ark, but the Lord actually sent the animals to him. Noah's job was to actually keep those animals alive, because they were, for when the floods receded, they were the things that were going to re-establish the earth, regenerate the earth. God also gave him a second job. It's up to you to go to the supermarket for this lot. Imagine the shopping list. They've got all these animals in the family. I don't know about you, but you put lions with something that looks rather tasty, and I gather the ark would become a bit of a supermarket in no time soon if you did that. One thing that I've never been able to quite gather as well is, how did Noah know how much to buy? Or not buy, but how much food did he need to gather? Did he know about the 40 days and nights beforehand? Something for you Bible buffs to come back on and share with us at another time. So jobs so far for Noah was, hey, can you build an ark? Get some food for the animals and family? No, biggie, eh? I don't think so. So as part of that, Noah also had to source more animals and birds for eating, and importantly, sacrifice. So we had the two by two, the male and the female, we had the family, but we also had to have all the other stuff that went with it. So there were more than just the two by two and the family on the boat. There were all these extras. And, it's just a little piece of detail I thought I'd chuck in there for you guys just to get context around how big this boat had to be. I think some scholars or some Bible scholars have calculated around 45,000 animals. That's a lot of poo. So Noah gets all the jobs done, and then God comes back to him, telling him, hey, get everyone and everything ready and on the ark, because in 7 more days the rain's going to start. And 40 days and nights were to follow. Nice. I wonder if they had a farewell party with their friends and neighbours. I wonder if Noah actually had any friends thinking about some of the stuff that we saw earlier. So all are on board and God shuts the ark. How about that? Noah's family, they've been following his leading, and everyone gets on the ark, and his family, they might be sitting there thinking, we're just going to go along with Dad, we're going to go along with the father-in-law, and then boom, God shuts the ark. Sends shivers down any doubtful minds, eh? So imagine that experience in 150 days following, the 40 days and nights of rain and waters remained before God remembered Noah. It's like God was out there and he goes, oh, that's right, Noah's out there. So he made a wind pass over the earth and the waters started to subside. The Bible, it describes the windows of heaven's opening. Now, we can understand that on a Wellington rainy day, right? When this place rains, it rains. But the Bible also describes the fountains of the great deep were broken up. Imagine that amount of water, flushing out of the earth, or, coming out of the earth. I'm thinking that's another wonder of the world that we've yet to discover, eh? Where did that all come from? We think about outer space for an adventure. Do we think about discovering where the fountains of the great deep come from? They had to be in excess of the ocean, right? Or did they? God could have done his thing. He could have just, multiplied the water. But he talks about, those waters of the deep being broken up. God doesn't say anything for no reason. Again, it's another point you Bible scholars can come and share with us another day. I'm really interested in that. So, Noah saves his family, animals, effectively, mankind, right? Absolutely he did. But that's not the heroic aspect I want to talk to you about today. So let's rewind. Noah's living day to day in relationship with God, and God rocks up and he says, hey, you're it, and all the others are going to die. This is where I believe the real heroic aspect comes into play. Imagine that. Imagine God coming to you and saying, hey, you're it. and everyone else is going to die. Oh, but by the way, you can bring your family along and some animals. You know, first God had to hear God in such a profound way. This indicates an incredibly intimate relationship with God. To hear that. Not only to hear that, he had to act on what God said. And he didn't question. You know, there was nowhere where he questioned. So, imagine sharing the conversation with the neighbours. Can you imagine it? You know, God said, this is what's going to happen, and you're out there because, you know, remembering Noah preached his righteousness to his fellow man. You know, he's out there, he's got a heart of God in him. Surely he's out there sharing this. Did you know that Noah was described as the only sole believer in that time? As in, God was recognised by many, but there was no heart for God. And that's what attracted God to Noah. When his dad talked about the cursed land, he was talking about the sin that had simply taken hold of the earth. You know, right back then when his dad looked at him, he knew that Noah wouldn't succumb to that. That's pretty, you know, that's profound and prophetic in itself. Noah's a hero in just that fact alone. He had to live through that kind of atmosphere every day. Ever heard the saying, you know, you become who you hang out with? Noah overcame that, you know, that adversity. If you hang with people that are getting into trouble and that, sometimes you can fall victim to it, and, you know, because they're your people. They're the people who give you a sense of belonging. But Noah overcame all that. Strength, and more to the point, faith, was at work to the max in this guy's life. I wonder, you know, when the rain came and Noah and his family and the animals that were in the ark, what happened to lost mankind when they realised Noah's faith was real? Imagine that moment. Do you ever wonder why the boat that was constructed, you know, just had sort of one small opening all the way around it? Because I'm kind of thinking, you know, the rain's come and the waters are getting higher and higher. There had to be attempts by the villagers to get on board, right? There got to be, you know, they're freaking out. Thinking into it more, I wonder, you know, how did Noah even get that boat built in that time of sin without it getting burnt down or sabotaged? And if there was so much corruption around, how did he even get away with his life? God's hand was truly on Noah. You know, I guess the drama demonstrated today, in some respects, you know, the Terminator versus Noah, those people were like the Terminators, eh? They kind of, yeah, I mean, they could have terminated Noah. They could have terminated his family, they could have terminated the ark, they could have done anything, but that didn't happen. So Noah is more than just a hero. I reckon he deserves to be regarded as an exemplified hero. He set the example that no matter what the situation we live in, that faith is a decision. He showed us that spending time with God is an enabler to hearing God. So, you know, I talked about last time, you know, spending time in your word, spending time with God. The more you spend time with God and in your word, the more you'll hear God. He set the example for obedience. This is a guy who didn't question something that seemed crazy, you know. He's out there in the desert. There isn't no big lake around or anything. He's just obedient. And he set the example of faith in action. You know, God could have said to him, hey, this is going to happen. He could have gone, oh, yep. Carried on spending time with God and hearing God, not being obedient, not doing anything about it. A lot of us, you know, when God comes knocking on our door, sometimes we're a bit surprised and we go, is that you, God? And we don't do anything about it. I want you to remember Noah. You know, you might not be off to build an ark, but you're off to build something. So church family, I'm hoping today that I've excited you more about an amazing biblical hero, not just one who built a boat, took animals of every species and his family on to save mankind, but a hero who set the standard on how to overcome adversity. This is a really cool shot. Do you know where this is? It's Titahi Bay, guys. Isn't that awesome? I found that. So I hope when you see rainbows, now that you're not only reminded of God's covenant with the world, i.e., I ain't going to flood this place again, but that you remember the personal story of Noah, that it gives you hope that you can make it through whatever you face with faith, obedience and action in relationship with God. God is almighty. Amen? Amen? He has the bigger picture. You know, we look at Evan. Evan had no idea, what am I doing building this boat? God had a bigger picture if you've seen that movie. So go build your arks, whatever they may be. Bless you all. Have an awesome faith-inspired day. Thanks, guys.